AUDL presents Ultimate Greatness, a series showcasing the most memorable games, athletes, and storylines in the history of professional Ultimate. Welcome to a world where the majestic floating disc redefines possibility, and even at the pinnacle of competition, spirit and integrity still reign supreme. Previously on Ultimate Greatness, the Dallas Roughnecks dramatically changed the landscape of professional Ultimate in 2016, compiling the most talented roster the AUDL had ever seen. Now, with a perfect 16-0 record, the Roughnecks are on the brink of championship perfection. But their final test features the surging Seattle Cascades, who shocked the world with their unbelievable second-half comeback against Madison in the semifinals.
That was a unique situation in 2016 Roughnecks. There was Jim Garrett basically saying, look, let's see what happens if we provide you guys with everything you need to build the ultimate team. When you have that many people putting that much energy into just one specific thing, you get to create something amazing and beautiful.
Bo Kittredge from Fairbanks, Alaska, just turned 34 years old in June. He was a world champion with Team USA in June. Not the first time he's won a world championship. This guy is used to winning. I asked him on Friday, when was the last time you lost a game? And he couldn't remember.
It's going to be an exciting game and an exciting prospect for Dallas to win this one.
Seattle Cascades beginning on defense. Dallas's O-line, Chris Mazer, Kurt Gibson, Brandon Malachek, the handlers. Mickle, Kittredge, Marshall, and Rasmussen. And Mickle shooting it for Rasmussen, and it's overthrown. A turnover for Dallas. 12 seconds in. How will the Seattle D-line be able to capitalize? This is Ben Snell, who had a great layout grab yesterday.
This is the key here for Seattle. They need their defensive line to have great production after the turnovers. They're going to get opportunities.
Joe Sefton, one of the 4 members of the U.S. Open national team playing for the Seattle Cascades today. Dallas Roughnecks have 5 members of the U.S. men's national team in their lineup. But almost half of the U.S. team, coached by Alex Gesquier and Ben Van Hoevelen in London, playing today in this AUDL final. Duncan Lynn, Matt Russell, Donnie Clark, who had the game-defining D yesterday. The disc floats for Sefton. He's got Snell. Gibson trailing defensively. Snell's got it with a left hand. The Cascades break to start. The O-line back out there for the Roughnecks. And Mazer throws it away looking for Rasmussen.
Rasmussen looking a little flat out of the gate. I think he could have bid on that first deep shot on this next one. Just misses the catch.
Bolton looking for Rankin. Rising up for the score.
I knew they had enough energy for one quarter. It's very hard to sustain that all the way through a game if your legs feel like, beat sausages or icebergs attached to your leg and they're just not really moving.
Dylan Freechild out there on offense for the first time.
That's a great matchup with Chen on Freechild.
D.Y. Chen chasing former Callahan winner Dylan Freechild. Gibson swings it to Chris Mazer. Joined the Roughnecks middle of the season and really gave them a boost on their O-line. Brandon Muffin Malachek back from the place he went to school. Grew up here in Madison.
Great job there by Carnegie to stop the continue pass there. That would have been a goal.
Sneaking the assist through, Malachek to Freechild. Dallas on the board. It took them 3 chances. The third time was the charm on the O-line. And there's Mark Burton, who takes a chance. Nick Stewart bids just shy of the end zone. He hauls it in. Stewart throwing through the contact to his old college teammate Simon Montague.
And that will do. Nick Stewart, one of those guys, it's hard to say what's scarier. Is it him in the air or is it him just on his legs out sprinting you to the end zone with a full extension layout? Nick is fired up today. It took him a little bit to get loose yesterday, but you can see he's ready to run.
Another chance for Cassidy Rasmussen, and that was a precious put from Brandon Muffin Malachek. As buttery a biscuit he's ever tossed. Fast-paced at the start. Leaping grab by Burton. And into the end zone for Raider. That goal took 13 seconds. And we've seen Dallas be patient, but they don't really want to be patient, do they? Chris Mazer with the assist for the Roughnecks. So Malachek and Mazer have dished all 3 scores for Dallas. Disc in the hands of Karlinski. Zane Rankin wide open on the under. Looking for Stewart. Emmons nearby. Stewart's got it.
So, I mean, this is exactly what we talked about in the pregame show. If Nick Stewart cuts deep and Emmons is on him and he's even, is the throw going to go up? Absolutely it will, and I think with good reason. I don't think Emmons can guard Stewart in the air.
Sefton on Kittredge, and Sefton steals the pass, poaching into the throwing lane. Swings it to Snell. So far, the only breaks have been back-to-back breaks from Seattle to start. Looking for a third, not even to the midway point of the opening quarter. Harkness to Sefton. Good job by Gibson on the mark, preventing the throw because Clark was open on the far side of the field. They come back to the near side. Timeout called by Seattle in the red zone as they look to punch in their third break of the opening quarter. You can see all 14 players on the field. Vertical stack in the end zone. Montague, lefty backhand to the dump up the line. O'Brien to Stewart. Seattle leads 6-3. That's the second goal for Stewart. He also has an assist. Gibson to Kittredge. Oh, that may have been nicked by Jesse Bolton on the mark. Still got to Gibson, now to Malachek, and to the end zone for Cassidy Rasmussen. His second score. It's a 2-goal game, 6-4.
Dallas looks calm. You know, I mean, one thing I would take away, this is a long game and this is a veteran team. Dallas is not worried. I don't think they're definitely not at full speed yet.
Seattle's offense almost turned it over, but Chris Larberg could not get there as Mark Burton makes the dive and grab.
Cassidy, very active downfield. I think yesterday his bell was rung. I don't think he was at 100%. But today he looks good.
Will Chen slipped, giving Malachek no mark. Kittredge to Mickle. Back to Bowe. Mazer. Carnegie shut off the cut by Marshall. You're allowed to double team in the AUDL, but you're not allowed to have 3 guys in that space of the disc actively guarding. So Mazer will center it on the goal line. Mazer to Gibson. University of Miami, the University of Florida. Not sure if these two teams can sustain this pace, but it's fun to watch. Stewart gets the free under against Jeremy Langdon. Now looking for Montague up the line, and from the handler core, Montague will reset on the goal line. Tough double team. Lefty backhand to O'Brien. Crossfield hammer, Rankin wide open. Seattle making it look easy. 13 goals have been scored in just over 7 minutes.
Bowe with the step.
Mickle takes a shot, doesn't have enough float. Kittredge bids and scores.
That 2016 year was the biggest injury of my ultimate career. Being able to battle back from that was something that I always hoped I'd be able to do. People really look up to somebody when they're able to go out there and put everything on the line coming off an injury. It kind of like takes away the excuse factor. When you come back from an injury, it's usually fear in your brain that holds you back. It's not necessarily your body.
Well, he's an unorthodox guy.
Yes, he is.
And he doesn't.
Pause that for a moment. Rankin can't get there, and Raiders overthrow the first turnover for the Cascades.
He's an interesting guy. Even when Bowe was captaining Revolver, he still wouldn't warm up with the team. He always had his own routine. He would wear sweatpants and no shirt. He'd be walking around with one sandal on. You're saying, wait, this guy's the captain?
The Dallas D-line looking for its first break. Chris Larberg's got it. Worth noting, both D-lines are converting breaks at a 100% opportunity. Only turns in the game have been from the O-lines so far. Raider through Seattle's first turn last point. Here's Stewart. Oh, nice job by Burton. A little hesitation, stutter step, and then boom, he bolted into the open space on the open side for the score. Rasmussen looking for Mickle. Got it. Karlinski, crossfield Scoobery had 2 targets. Caldwell takes charge to Stewart. Burton.
Uh-oh.
Stewart on the move. Yes, sir! Nick Stewart just says, I'll take that.
It was eating time. You could see that. He threw the disc to Mark Burton, and his eyes got real big.
Malachek looking for Mickle again. Russell nearby, Carnegie approaching, and Russell comes up with a D for the Cascades.
Russell, the young buck, very deceptively good. Lots of poise, great length. Just gets a hand on a tough throw there, though.
A mistake for Seattle. Gibson with his magnetic hands. And a stall was called. It was a late whistle. It may have been a stall, but the whistle came late. Gibson not happy with the decision from the referee.
Bo's just roaming the deep space, not even guarding anybody at this point.
The first multi-turnover point of the game.
Yeah, and Lynn with the disc, he needs to get going. He's not playing his best. Blown assignment on D and a throwaway on O.
Looking for Carnegie. Yep, just shy of the end zone. Snell. Oh, nice vision. Rankin wide open for the goal. Dallas struggled with Atlanta. Toronto struggled with DC. Madison even struggled with Pittsburgh. But Seattle toyed with Los Angeles. Trounced San Francisco.
Physical defense from BJ Sefton. Bo known sometimes for setting up the deep cut by putting his shoulder into your chest and then releasing underneath. BJ very aware of that and not allowing him to get separation.
To have played against each other so many times. They were teammates, the U.S. national team. We're at 20 ticks remaining in the first quarter. Oh, that barely snuck through to Dalton Smith. And he plays catch with Chris Mazer to punch it in. Dalton Smith has had a quiet first quarter today, had some really great moments yesterday in their semifinal win against Toronto. Oh, that was a dropped pull by Danny Karlinski. Dallas can hurry, and they call a timeout from the sidelines. A critical mistake from the Team USA captain. All he can do is laugh about it.
Right.
Let's go inside the Dallas huddle.
Open for Steph and then just break.
Yeah.
Do you have it? If not, hit off and we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
No, who's done?
Dylan's
Oh,
done.
Dylan, sorry.
Done.
Score on 3.
Done.
1, 2, 3, score.
I'll continue.
Will we see a 21st goal in the opening quarter? Mickle to Smith. Seattle may not be done yet.
Got time here.
Bolton gets it to Montague. Montague gets the backhand off. Stewart in the area, Emmons in the area, and it's Mickle who skies for the interception.
Can someone tell me why Matt Rader wasn't down there yet? I mean, I'm not a great tactician of Ultimate, but what did you think we were going to do?
Rader had 1 goal, no assists in the first quarter. Nick Stewart had 3 goals and a couple assists. You're right about Donnie Clark, but like Matt Jackson on the other side, Clark's going to make a play by the end of the day. You just know it. Mark Burton's played well. Nick Stewart thought about the deep shot to Rankin, resets to Montague.
Nice mark by Langdon, taking away that backhand with his right foot.
Stall count rising. Montague just barely gets rid of it. No, he didn't. Montague is stalled out And Dallas takes possession, looking for the tie. And it was tipped off the hands of Chris Larberg and caught by Zach Riggins.
All these players had never really been on a big stage before. They were unknown players, really, and they just had such potential, and given the opportunity, they're winning the game for us.
Oh, laying out for the under, Rankin keeps it alive with Freechild nearby. Here's Rader. Stewart was calling for it. Burton wide open, looking for Montague. He certainly put it to space.
That's when I blow the switch horn and just yell switch and find another man.
Rasmussen looking for Kittredge. Carnegie approaching. Kittredge rising up first. Backward somersaults his way to gain a few extra yards. Back to Rasmussen, sneaking it past the Harkness bid. 12 all. Seattle back on offense, looking to stay in front. Dallas has not led yet. Seattle jumped out 2-0, but they're going to have a chance to take a lead right here. Raiders' second turnover. Freechild picks it up quickly to Bennett. Been really impressed all season long by some of the fundamental choices Dylan Freechild has made. Making the sure pass, swinging the disc, not trying to be the hero. Contact on the mark. Langdon will mark off the 10.
There's a lot of guys you can talk about in the field general role, and Freechild, just with his ability to give and go, and if he can develop the throws and then the decision making.
Bennett looking for Freechild. He's got him. Got a few steps on Stewart, and Dallas in front for the first time in the title game. In the results of the throws, Karlinski looking for Rader. Matt Rader turns on the Jets. Was there ever a doubt? Kai Marshall released deep. Gibson looked him off. Kittredge to Rasmussen.
Man, Lynn on Rasmussen. I think Cassidy should go to work.
Both Mazer and Marshall were breaking free. There was some traffic in the area, and the referees are going to call a pick here. I think this is a good call.
3 out of the last 4 goals were scored by handlers going deep. This is a game about versatility. Both teams have it.
Up the line to Kurt Gibson. Mazer back in the handling core to Malachek. Bolton on the mark. Mickle taking a chance. Kittredge gets there. Karlinski to Stewart. Oh, Gibson was closing fast. Stewart airs it out. Stall count was rising. Can Burton make a play? Oh, it's Dylan Larberg in the end zone. Dallas starting to assert itself a little bit. Gibson for Langdon. Rader.
Are you kidding me? Look at that speed from Rader. He's way out of position. The disc goes up, and oh, by the way, he looks so casual as he closes 5 steps.
This is going to come back, though. There was contact on the mark.
Jeez.
Jeremy Langdon's not a slow player.
No, and he had position. He's got a big frame. That was...
Timeout called by Dallas. From the sideline, Coach Patrick Eberly. Gibson, Freechild, Mazer, Kittredge, Smith, Rasmussen, and Mickle. Against Bolton, Sefton, Chen, Clark, Lynn, Russell, and Rankin. And wow, what was that? Sefton quickly picks up a blade to the end zone. That'll work. Sefton to Lynn over the top to tie it up. Mazer launches. Gibson in pursuit. Got it. Chris Mazer may not be as well known as Kurt Gibson or Jimmy Mickle or Bo Kittredge. But if you are having just a throwing competition, Seattle already across midfield. Oh, tremendous bid That was Dylan Larberg. That's the type of play that can win you a title. That's his third D of the opening half. And Freechild wants him. Off the hands, Larberg stays with it.
It really paid off when all of the players who were part of that system, who weren't maybe the superstars, got on there and had the opportunity to actually just go out there and blow up.
In the realm of situational ultimate, on a deep shot like that, when you have the opportunity to sandwich, how do you work with your teammate? Rankin with Dalton Smith on his back. Gets the reset to Stewart. Stewart punches it into Montague. Rasmussen giving Marshall a chance. Nice throw. Carnegie drops off. Reset to Gibson. Make contact, and Gibson will get a chance to center, and that's a costly foul right there. Snell a little over aggressive. Lets Gibson find Mickle. Contact on the offense downfield, and you get the trademark Gibson body language.
Seattle's been known to throw a zone in this situation on the end zone line, and you might think a zone's not appropriate, but you just saw how easy it was for Mickle to get open, and this is just such a typical throw. Why not put more defenders in the area and make it harder?
Gibson made a tough throw right there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Rankin marked by Emmons, back to Montague. Squeezes that throw through to Raider. Doesn't really feel like Seattle's on the ropes, per se, but a pick downfield will bring this back. You know, it was 11-8 Seattle, a 9-4 run right now.
First team I've ever seen that would storm the field in celebration when the other team scored a goal was Seattle. They find a way, have fun, regardless of the situation, and they just keep bringing the energy. Things have settled down in the second quarter, and they could bring their defense on a run. Dallas is prone to some lulls. These next 3 minutes is really going to set the stage for a second half.
Burton, pressured, stalled. Burton says no way. The referee has made the call.
I kind of agree. That was a quick 7.
John Thibodeau, Daniel Wong, Jason Weddle, Kai Hudak, the 4 officials for the championship game. Freechild, Emmons.
Dylan Freechild really doesn't enter your mind often, but lately he's starting to make that case to be one of those top 5 franchise players in the world. He finds a way to get it done. He has a skill set that nobody else has.
Oh, mistake by Raider. That's his 3rd throwing turnover. Raider was wide open because both Dallas defenders poached on the deep man Stewart. Larberg looking for his brother. Dylan to Chris. Dallas scores again. Really important next 2 minutes, 5 seconds for Seattle. They were down 5 at the half yesterday. It was 15-10 Madison. Radicals lead swelled to as many as 7 midway through the 3rd quarter before the Cascades closed 13-5. Karlinski to Caldwell. Montague. O'Brien. Karlinski.
It's a good defensive possession from Dallas. You can't always get a block, but if you can force a team out of their A option.
And just like that, Freechild intercepts the Scoober. You can see the body language of Montague. He had a lot of space in front of him, but no one was cutting there.
Seattle team is tired, and they haven't been able to find the offensive rhythm to stay rested throughout the second quarter.
Roughnecks sideline made it clear to everybody they have no timeouts. Laurie takes the shot. O'Brien can't get there. Matt Costello, whose nickname is Yeti, which happens to be the name of the Cascades mascot. Cascades haven't scored since the 5:39 mark in this quarter. Snell has nowhere to go. Finally frees up Montague. Raider back to Montague. 34 seconds and a drop. Snell cannot haul it in. No timeouts for Dallas. Bennett and Gibson give and go. Gibson just totally shook free of his defender.
Plenty of time here for Dallas. They don't need to go directly to the end zone.
Gibson could not keep it alive. Clock stops when the disc goes out of bounds. Raider picks it up. Scoobers cross field. Duncan Lynn lets it fly. Funny, seems like everybody's tired. Spiked to the ground emphatically by Matt Bennett. Powerful D to close out the half. Dallas by 5 at the break.
And this really is a Frisbee town. They love it here. You know, and the fans have really become educated. A lot of kids. I mean, it breaks your heart. You were here last night after Madison lost, and the kids are in tears. You know, the families are.
Right off the bat in the second half, Mazer looking for Gibson. Donnie Clark making his move. Oh, Gibson had it and lost it. May not have been able to stay in bounds regardless. Quick turnover, 12 seconds into the half for the Roughnecks.
Yeah, I like the look. A little too much air on that backhand. But I like the look, and Kurt made a real nice cut.
BJ Sefton just barely gets it away, and a timeout was called from the Dallas sideline. And a daunting double team, Langdon and Laurie. O'Brien gets it to Raider. Traveling violation was called. It's going the other way.
Wow. Without seeing the replay, I think that was probably a good call. O'Brien using the sliding back foot to get past the double team. And that's going to kill you if you're going to burn the timeout and then get the turnover immediately.
Matt Jackson to Dan Emmons.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I mean, nothing against Mario O'Brien at all. But you know you're going to get double teamed on the sideline. Why doesn't Simon Montague pick up the disc? He's the guy just going to have the easiest time getting around that.
Emmons and Caldwell collided. And I think the foul's going against Emmons, so Seattle will march off 10.
Well, you can see the respect that Mike Caldwell has in the sport. Emmons accidentally fouled him, and he literally walked up, touched him on the cheek, and said, "I'm so sorry."
Karlinski, Raider. Seattle on the board in the second half. They're going to need a lot more where that came from.
We've never seen Seattle come from behind by this deficit since yesterday's game.
Mickle taking off. Kittredge was hit on the throw. This is coming back if Mickle doesn't catch it, but of course he does, and it's a score. Seattle trailing by 6. Raider stumbling, making his cut. Karlinski comes to reset the stall count. Hammers it for Rankin. Montague, crossfield, Raider. He's got Stewart. There it is.
These two guys.
Dallas back on offense. Mazer floats it way too far for Rasmussen.
Wow. I mean, I really like that matchup for Cassidy, but they're not throwing very well to him.
That's the second turnover of the quarter for Chris Mazer. A chance for Seattle's D-line. D.Y. Chen. Good decision there to throw it out of the double team. And Russell's throw intercepted by Gibson. Malachek to space for Mickle. There it is. You can sense Seattle's defense starting to get a little demoralized by how easy Dallas is making it look. Karlinski had it partially deflected by Thomas Slack, and then Matt Jackson knocked it to the ground. Slack comes in for the under. He's had a quiet game, but big play right there. Freechild gives Jackson an easy look with a stall count rising. Yeti Costello up the line. Jake Anderson was out of bounds. His left foot landed out of bounds. The referee was right there. That was the right call.
Pretty cool play from him, though. I mean, he wins the foot race against Matt Rader up the line. Not easy to do.
And now they're going to turn it over with the integrity rule.
And I'm so impressed with Seattle making these integrity overrule calls. I mean, that was the right call. Definitely doesn't help them, and they're going down 7 now. But Matt knew what he did. He said, you know what, I got him in the back, that's a goal.
Seattle starting to disintegrate a little bit. Another careless error, leading to a break chance for Dallas. Emmons. Bennett. Look at that throw. Langdon in the end zone.
D-Free trying to call a travel on Chen.
Seattle needs to figure out a way to start having fun. This could be an opportunity. D.Y. Chen versus Dylan Freechild. Oh, my goodness. Dylan Freechild in charge.
What do you call that when you come through on the backside like that and rip it out in front of the guy?
A really good play.
I love that. There should be a word for that. It's one of the most just entertaining ways to get a D.
Well, Justin Allen got the okie dokie. I don't know that I've heard another play created here since that point.
Freechild with a no-look dish there.
Slack takes the bid, but Costello with the overthrow. So far in this third quarter, 5-2 in Dallas's favor, and the Roughnecks have scored 3 in a row. Rader hits D.Y. Chen on the under.
Donnie Clark with space.
Clark, can he get there? No.
Man, is there anything more exciting than a Donnie Clark bid?
Well, you just expect him to always make the play.
Yeah, really tough catch. Chen made it a lot harder than it needed to be.
Leaping catch for Langdon. Freechild.
D-Free's getting loose here.
Dalton Smith. Freechild did a nice job setting up that cut. High release to Slack. Thomas Slack has shown great confidence with that lefty backhand to get the reset. Used that throw several times lately. I mean, the Dallas Roughnecks offensively, the unforced error there. Prior to that mistake, they were looking so much like the Madison Radicals in the first half yesterday. Just so smooth, so comfortable. Looked like all 7 guys are moving with each other.
Rader with a step.
The foul called on Langdon. I beg your pardon, Laurie.
Lynn trying as hard as possible to just avoid the foul. He had the look that he wanted downfield.
It's been almost 6 minutes since Seattle has scored. Snell to the end zone for D.Y. Chen.
That's some pretty work from Ben Snell, working, making sure to move that mark, open up the break side, and great touch on that throw.
Gibson. Kittredge gives Gibson the reset.
pressure's amped up a little bit from Seattle. This is the second point in a row where Dallas is really having a hard time getting what they're looking for.
And yet, a pick called here. It's going to come back.
Might have been a lucky break for Seattle because Mazur had steps.
Mickle free. Looking for Marshall. It's going to be a tough grab. He had it and lost it.
Yeah, an awkward angle, but a catch that should have been made, I think.
We tick under 2 minutes here in the third quarter. AUDL Championship weekend culminating with the Roughnecks in the Cascades. Maybe yesterday, but not today for Carnegie.
It's another huck to that end zone where you're not getting what you were expecting from the wind. That thing turned over and dove quick.
Mechanix launching for Kittredge. A majestic flick. About 75 yards. And look at that vision. Kittredge to Cassidy Rasmussen. Boom. But Ashlyn Joy, Kurt Gibson in 2014, Cassidy Rasmussen in 2015, Simon Higgins, Greg Cohen, Mark Burton looking for Raider. Got him.
That was some kind of throw from Mark Burton. Yeah, the pressure is there. They need to generate a few blocks, but they're doing a lot of the right things downfield, making the resets difficult. They need to make some plays.
Kittredge was left wide open. High release to Mickle. Scuba to Rasmussen. Mazur up the line. He's in the end zone. Seattle, they're going to have any chance. They get the disc here. They're going to get the disc to start the fourth quarter. If it could be 27-21 the next time Dallas touches the disc, you feel like they've got a little bit of a chance. Rankin rifles it. He's got Raider and Carnegie. And it's Raider who comes down with the disc. Yikes. At the buzzer, no time left. Raider rising up. Pole soars out of bounds. Seattle will have the disc 60 yards from the end zone, trailing by 7 with 12 minutes to play. What's the formula here, Brian, for the Cascades?
If there was a formula in the books, I think everybody would know it, but there isn't. Here, it's about the next throw. It's about the next possession. You have to bring the intensity.
Taking off. Stewart taking off. Montague puts it beautifully. Wow. Russell now picking up Marshall, who hits Rasmussen. Mazur taking off. He's wide open. And he is out of bounds. Incomplete. Seattle, 30 seconds into the fourth, a chance to get within 5.
It looks like that throw just carried way more than it should have. That side of the field, the disc just keeps going.
Clark, lefty backhand toward Harkness. Kittredge and Mechanix are there, and Kittredge goes over the top.
A foul on the throw. Right on the backswing, Cassidy Rasmussen got him. He acknowledges it, so it'll go back to Donnie Clark.
Seattle in a position right now where they just cannot afford any unforced errors. They need to be smooth with every throw and every catch. Yikes. Carnegie just barely held that pivot foot. Lynn looking beyond Mickle for Clark. Donnie Clark. He's back.
We would go out there and we'd make mistakes by giving them the disc or not moving the disc or trying to just win with a beautiful throw from 50 yards back, and that just wasn't what we wanted. So we kept having to hammer home discipline and keeping possession of the disc as long as possible. As long as we had the disc, as long as we kept them running, we thought we had a great shot.
Marshall on the under. Smith. Nicely done to Rasmussen near the sideline. One-handed snag from Smith. Gibson. Mazer. Malachek back outside the red zone now. Any possession that takes a minute or two off the clock is a victory for the Roughnecks at this stage, especially if it ends in a score. Dalton Smith breaks free. Raider bailed out by Stewart, who got drilled. And Freechild says, come on down. 10 yards. Gifted. Montague. Karlinski. Burton. What are you guys seeing from Seattle's spacing around the end zone here? That throw just narrowly getting past Langdon. Mazer, Gibson, Malachek, Kittredge, Marshall, Rasmussen, and Mickle. Bow taken off. Mickle with a gorgeous put.
Wow, too good. Mickle steps all the way inside and just dials up a beautiful inside backhand huck to Bow, who has a step. Sefton plenty fast enough, saw it coming, but nothing you can do. It's like it's happening in slow motion. Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised too if they were up 8. Maybe that cut doesn't happen, maybe that play doesn't happen. But 5's a little too close for comfort for somebody like Bow. So he tacks on another goal.
Really good defense by Jake Anderson downfield. Raider wanted to go deep, and Anderson just would not give him an angle to make the cut. Burton's going deep. Rankin looking his way. Burton bids and scores. If the Cascades could get a break or two, they'd be within striking distance here. Looking for Kittredge again. Jesse Bolton trailing. Kittredge read it well. Bow pouring it on as he looks to sew up his 3rd consecutive championship in the American Ultimate Disc League. Caldwell went deep, then came back for the under and made the catch just barely.
Wow, it stayed in bounds.
Winds it up, looking over the head of Christian Larberg, or that's Dylan Larberg, who's shaken up on the play.
I think he rolled that ankle.
Seattle scored 5 times first 6 minutes of the 4th.
Contact downfield. Duncan Lynn ran into Kirk Gibson as they were crossing each other's paths.
It's a nice day for Ultimate here in Madison. Really, you couldn't ask for much better playing conditions as a competitor. Well, it's Gibson going deep. He's all alone. He's got the Roughnecks goal. Regardless, a really nice throw by Mazer. Stretch the lead back to 6. This Dallas O-line has been relentless after Seattle got an early break to begin the quarter. Burton to Rankin. Loves throwing it deep. Has a wide open crossfield reset to O'Brien. Stewart looking Burton's way. Got him.
Seattle doesn't have time. They need to play pretty perfectly from here.
Leaving Jimmy Mickle wide open in the middle of the field is not the right strategy. Good use of the width of the field here from Dallas. Malachek led well by Kittredge. Breaks the mark. Oh, Gibson macked it to Rasmussen. Holy cow.
This is perfect. Uses the trailing left hand, just says, just keep going. Just keep going.
Wonder if we'll be able to tell from another angle. Did Gibson get a piece of the disc?
Yeah, he's got a big smile on his face. He knows.
Rasmussen, the goal. Little style showcased from the Roughnecks with 4:11 to go. That's out of the back of the end zone.
I think this is a point where 3:30 to go. Really tough for Seattle to get back in this game, and Dallas may be able to start celebrating this undefeated season.
Larberg to Larberg. Good sign to see. And a receiver travel called.
I think Larberg, he walked out of the end zone. I think he caught it, ran into the end zone, and then he walked a full step out of the end zone. So you're supposed to set the pivot foot right on the line. I think that's what happened. So a 10-yard penalty for him.
That's a break for the Roughnecks, and that might break any hope remaining for the Cascades. The Cascades have a couple more offensive possessions in their season. Stewart had it, but could not hang on when he hit the ground. You know, the Seattle Cascades team started the season 1-3, finished 9-5, won a couple playoff games on the road. Oh, Rayner intercepts it for the D, throws it upside down from his upside down to get it to Montague. Seattle is West Division champs. They're going to finish second in the league this year. Nick Stewart shaken up, and the clock will stop as Stewart takes an injury, replaced by Donnie Clark.
Seattle has a lot to be proud of in this season. I mean, they have really impressed me. I think this team is kind of hitting a pinnacle. This generation of Seattle is reaching a level that we haven't seen in a few years since they were club champions.
Snatched by Clark. And there's Raider doing the same.
I always have a hard time believing that, even though we've talked about it. Cassidy Rasmussen was probably the best all-around player in club last year. Bo is always the most impactful. He finds a way to draw defenders to him. He just opens up the field for everybody else, and when there's a turnover, he constricts the field. Like a boa constrictor, just squeezes the life out of any defensive offensive line.
Malachek going deep. Kittredge thought about it. Underneath to Rasmussen. Well, Dallas put this team together hoping to grow the sport of Ultimate, hoping to grow the Eric Foundation. Jim Garantzer's charity, named after his son Eric, who was diagnosed with cancer early. A full recovery. And while the Roughnecks perhaps have not satisfied themselves every single week, they are 45 seconds away from a perfect season. Mickle with a laser beam of a hammer. Carnegie deflected it, and he may have hurt himself.
Seattle, the Cascades. There's 40 seconds left. They're certainly going to lose this game. But a hammer goes up to my guy, and I'm not going to quit. I'm going all the way for this. I'm going to lay out, but you love the effort.
Kittredge with one more D to add to his statistical resume, but his legacy defined by championships. Here in Madison, the Dallas Roughnecks, a 7-goal win over the Toronto Rush. And it will likely be a 6-goal win over the Seattle Cascades. The clock stops with 3.5 seconds left. It'll restart on the referee's signal. The super team, a super success. And the Dallas Roughnecks, in their very first season, are champions of the AUDL.
In life, you don't get a lot of shots to both say you're going to do something for somebody and then pull it off. I also think that when you say that you want to be really good at something, you have to be able to do it in any situation. And that was like such a unique situation, that being able to bring all those superstars and random people together to do something and uniting them with a common goal is just an incredible feeling that you get so rarely in life. I loved it. It made me feel that I could do anything. This is what we're meant to do in Ultimate, is put together things like this.
For my broadcast compadres throughout the season, Megan Tormey, Chuck Kindred, Brian Jones, Taylor Pope, and Evan Leffler saying so long from Madison. That's a wrap for Championship Weekend 2016. The Dallas Roughnecks were the favorites, and they proved to be the very best. 33-27 over Seattle. The Dallas Roughnecks are celebrating an AUDL championship.